Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we cover the real news that matter to we the people. Bruce Orr said, the FBI, the DOJ knew the dossier was dirty from the beginning. According to PJ Media, virtually everyone at the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Justice Department involved in the FBI's counterintelligence probe of candidate Donald Trump knew from the beginning that the investigation, dubbed Crossfire Hurricane, was based on the shaky opposition research compiled by a Trump-hating former British spy and funded by Hillary Clinton campaign. Bruce Orr, the demoted Associate Attorney General, testified to Congress last August that he repeatedly warned top officials at the FBI and DOJ about Steele's bias and Fusion GPS conflict of interest, yet this information was kept hidden from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. And to add insult to injury, instead of investigating the officials who actively participated in the dossier hoax, Special Counsel Robert Mueller hired several of them to be on his team to investigate President Trump. Steele, a former MI6 operative, was hired by Fusion GPS to find dirt on Trump after he clinched the Republican nomination. The FBI hired him in the fall of 2016. The FBI fired him in the fall of 2016 for lying, but the FBI and Justice Department officials nevertheless wrote the FISA application that he was a reliable source. So let's go back to this. I know I reported on this before. Steele was fired. He was an informant for the FBI. He was a spy, MI6. And we used his intelligence prior to all this, and we fired him because he lied to the FBI. Steele lied to the FBI about leaking to the press, and then they still used his information after they fired him for being and caught him for lying. They still used his information. That's how bad they wanted to take down Trump, or set up Trump for the takedown. But back to the article. Orr kept top officials at both the FBI and Department of Justice apprised of his conversations with Steele, both before and after the former British intelligence spy was fired as an informant. On July 5th, the very day the then FBI Director James Comey press conference on Hillary Clinton emails, Steele flew to Rome to meet with an old FBI contact, according to reports. Later that month, he met with Orr, the Wall Street Journal's Kimberly Strassel reported, based on leaked transcripts confirmed by Congress sources. Mr. Orr testified that he sat down with the dossier author Christopher Steele on July 30th, 2016, and received salacious information the opposition researcher had compiled on Mr. Trump. Mr. Orr immediately took that to the FBI then Deputy Director Andy McCabe and lawyer Lisa Page. And in August, he took it to Peter Strzok, the Bureau's lead investigator. In the same month, Mr. Orr believes he briefed senior personnel in the Justice Department Criminal Division, Deputy Assistant Attorney General Bruce Swartz, lawyer Zaim Ahmad, and Fraud Unit Head Andrew Wasserman. The last two now work for Special Counsel Robert Mueller. So the same people that knew this dossier was not reliable, that pushed this dossier, the same people that's worked, two of them is working for Mueller right now. So conflict of interest much? How much conflict of interest we got to have going on in this investigation before we know this investigation is a sham? We know that Mueller got ties to the whole Uranium One deal and ties with Hillary Clinton in the Uranium One stuff. So he has he has a conflict of interest. And then you got these two, Bruce Swartz and Ahmad. Both of them work for Robert Mueller, who has conflicts of interest. I'm sorry, not Ahmad. I mean not Swartz. We got Ahmad and Wiseman. But let's get back to this article. Former FBI Special Agent Peter Strzok and FBI lawyer Lisa Page were also hired to work with Mueller's team after being involved with the Crossfire hurricane, but had to be removed after DOJ Inspector General discovered the extreme anti-Trump bias in text. Yeah, they had to get rid of Strzok and Page. I mean, there's no way, once the text came out, they knew the text was coming out. There wasn't no way they can't say that that Page and Strzok wasn't biased. Again, I did videos on this before. You can look into those where I go into detail on Peter Strzok and the Lisa Page thing. Orr testified that he stressed that the information he was sharing came from Trump's political opponent in the Clinton camp and warned that it was unverified and likely biased. So we got him testifying in front of Congress that he knew that it came from the Clinton camp and it was biased, unverified. And he went and remember that memo that we got that Shifty Schiff put out last year, where he was talking about, well, I think it was the year before last, he put that memo out. And where he was basically saying that the FBI didn't know that this was the dossier was political, that it wasn't unverified. He was saying that the FBI didn't know any of this, protecting the FBI and the DOJ. So we caught Shifty Schiff in a lie. So he can't be trusted at all. It's news coming out today with him. I think I might do a video about that too. So we can't trust anything that Schiff comes out with anyway, because he's already been caught in the lie. So everything that he's saying from now on, we can't trust. And I said that when he first put out that memo, that memo wasn't true anyway. And now we come out months later to find out that this whole that memo that Schiff put out was a lie. So let's go back to this article. Orr testified that he stressed that the information he shared came from Trump's political opponents in the Clinton camp and warned that it was unverified and likely biased. Quote, when I provided the Steele information to the FBI, I tried to be clear that this is a source information, he testified. I don't know how reliable it is. You're going to have to check it out and be aware. These guys were hired by somebody relating to who he related to the Clinton campaign, and be aware. So he straight up told him, like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if this dossier is legit. You know, it did come from Hillary Clinton campaign. We know how they put out lies, is what I think he basically was saying. You know, paraphrasing. But we know how Hillary Clinton is, so we don't know if I can really trust this thing. But I do want to give y'all this information so I can say that I gave it to y'all. But it hasn't been verified, and it could be very biased, just to let y'all know. And they still took that dossier, even though it hasn't been verified. They took it and they used it to get those fires warrants. So I mean, this is a straight up abuse of power, spying on a political operative, and using the FBI and the DOJ, politicizing it and using it to attack your opponents. I think this goes all the way to the top. I think when this is all said and done, we're going to have proof that Obama has something to do with this. Loretta Lynch has something to do with this. Susan Rice has something to do with this. And I think some heads are going to roll soon. Soon more and more information is going to come out, because we got a paper trail now. And the paper trail is leading all the way to the top, I believe. But let's go back to the article. According to the leaked transcript of Orr's closed-door testimony to the Joint House Judiciary Oversight and Government Reform Committee last August 28th, he waved all these red flags well before the FBI filed its October application for a surveillance warrant against Carter Page. I'm not gonna go into the rest of it. This is a pretty lengthy article, but y'all can check it out at pjmedia.com. I'll try to remember to post the article in the show notes at the bottom of this video. But let me know what you think. Do you think anything's gonna happen with this leak information now that we know that the dossier was actually, when it was handed over to the FBI, they know that it was unverified? What do you think? Do you think anything's gonna happen from this, or you think nothing's gonna happen? Please let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments below. Check out DEMOCREPUBLIX for the latest in news. Please subscribe and hit that like button. Until next time. We living on a alien nightmare. Watch out for the we living on a alien nightmare. Watch out for the